We're switching it up this season, and I need everyone to let me know, when is the best time for a power suit? When you're going to the House of Lords, or when you're trying to kill a bank? Welcome back to the Trading Desk. My name is Ebube, and this is the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Here on the Trading Desk, we delve deeper into the nuances of HBO's industry as a follow-up to the more detailed, immediate coverage by Bankole and AJ that drops every week right here on the Popcorn for Dinner feed after the episodes air. We're also going to be previewing the next episodes and discussing not just what we know now, but what we can expect, what we've seen in the trailers, what we've seen in the episode previews, and just everything that we've gleaned that's kind of been left on the table. We're going to be talking about character-specific problems, character-specific neuroses, and all the fun little Easter eggs that just made us laugh way too much. Because at this point, is this show even about money? Is this show about finance? Who knows? The show is about a lot of things now. I have a lot to think about. There's a lot that I have been thinking about. But thankfully for you, you're not going to listen to me think alone, because I am joined by AJ, who is making her comeback to the podcast after all this time. Please join me in welcoming her. How are you feeling, AJ? This is legit. This is legit. This is great. This is a fantastic day for me.
Because I've been begging you guys, involve me. And now I'm being involved. I'm happy.
Yeah, she did want to be involved. She saw the industry trailer and was just like, yeah. She let me. I couldn't tell if it was a celebration or a threat. It's like, okay, I'm coming on this episode. You know this, right? Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And just like last year on the Trading Desk, or I guess last season, we're going to be having a few more guests as well, and that is going to be an interesting ride because there is a lot to talk about and the different aspects. This show has evolved so much. I mean,
Yeah.
It's amazing to see a show that is able to reinvent itself and still captivate its audience. They're not alienating anybody. I think about a show like Westworld that was great at reinventing itself, but it did happen to leave people behind each time it did that. I think it maybe strayed a little bit too far from its initial core proposition. But industry is keeping the core proposition and actually sweetening the deal every step of the way. And I think that's very fun. I mean, we have a lot of talk in this episode about a certain company trying to set up its 2.0, its new season, its new era, its new dawn, so to speak. And I guess this is industry's new dawn. This is industry 2.0. That is a deep cut inside joke. But this, but honestly, I feel like there's so much to dive into. I guess the first thing, maybe the difference is there is no Robert in this episode. There's no. How do you feel about that as Robert's number one hater?
It was kind of like a love-hate relationship with my guy. I miss him.
Okay.
He's the only twink we had. I was telling you the other day. Like, who's the silly white boy we're going to have? Because I don't think it's going to be Jim. Because Jim seems more
I mean, hey, you never know. You never
I don't know. Maybe, but it's like I prefer the old one. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He might have like a cameo or something. Because I don't know.
I mean, I hope so.
I'm hopeful.
That's like hopeful. A blue sky wishful thinking. Like it's kind of thing that you want it to happen. You feel like it probably won't, but you kind of just want it. I don't know. Like we maybe on some level, you know, this episode is about new beginnings. It's about shedding old skins. And I think in a way, the idea of not having someone like Robert in this show anymore is a sign of maturity for the show. Not in terms of its production, but maybe in terms of the story that it wants to tell. Because Robert did mature over time. And if you ask, you know, Harry Lawtey, who played him, and Mickey and Conrad, who created the show, you know, they'll tell you that they reached a natural conclusion for that character's arc. And they felt like they said everything they wanted to say with him. So now, you know, as Tender is trying to move away from being the PayPal of Bukkake, which is the title of the episode, industry is maybe trying to do a little bit more. I mean, we saw kind of this idea of them trying to get into like weird, filmmaker territory with the show. I mean, I remember the end of season 3, right, when Rishi's wife gets shot in the head right in front of him.
Ooh.
And that kind of told all of us, like, this show might be on the cusp of something interesting. So now we're here, and that character is gone. We have an idea of what he's doing. Like, they reached a good conclusion for him. If they never bring him back, it will actually still be fine for the story. And while I'm on that, I should point out that you could kind of watch this episode without knowing anything that happened in the first 3 seasons. It's like Fucklehead and AJ actually said this on some level too, but it's like there's so much, like, everything is kind of set as a reintroduction. It's almost like we see Harper, we see what she's doing, we see where she is. There's a new kind of like kicking the ball, getting the ball rolling, hitting the ground running with her character this season and what she's doing for Autumn Mustin's fund. We see Yasmin and where she is. We have no idea how she got there, like, if we've not watched the show before, but we have a good idea of who she is now. We just have a good sense of who and what everyone is now, and whatever they do, we don't necessarily need to know what happened before to kind of understand that. But if we do understand that, then it's richer and we have more context.
Exactly.
So that's why I think this feels like a very solid and successful reinvention as far as the show's narrative is concerned. And that's nice. I mean, you can tell even from the way they approach the beginning, right? They, like, we're starting the episode, and it is a while before we see anyone we actually know.
No, exactly. Before the title card, we're like, okay, what is actually even happening? Is it you? Am I watching you? Because he has the black cap and he's just looking. I'm like, And then we see the title card and we see our girl with that suit, with those heels.
That power suit, man.
I'm like, oh, sister. Because,
She
I
has
said,
become
like,
powerful.
on the episode, I can't remember what episode I came on, but I had said, I need someone to braid my sister's hair.
I was going to tell you, I was actually going to ask you about this. Her hair is now well done. It's done.
Yeah.
Like, this is
what
fantastic.
Money can do.
This is what money does.
Oh, she looks so good.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, Harper's hair is like a whole thing that we've tracked on this podcast, because you can kind of just tell where she is in life based on how her hair is. And this is not just well done, it's bold. Like, it's boldly her, it's boldly feminine, it's boldly black. And that's what we want to see. And we can see how she's tapping into different aspects of herself in this episode, and how she's actually connected to not just her need to control things, her need to make something of herself, but also the fact that she is black. I mean, you can kind of tell that subtly when she's asking Eric on the phone about the girl that he's spending time with. She's like, she sounds black. And I remember thinking about that, like, does she sound black? I'm like, yeah, she actually does sound black. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody will close their eyes and listen and be like, she could sound like anybody, but I don't know, there's something about her. But then again, I can't tell, right? I saw her before the question was asked. So yeah.
Yeah, look, I always knew Eric liked black women, but anyways, that's beside the point. So I saw her and I'm like, oh, okay, do you? I guess, cool.
There was too much happening in that scene, actually. In that whole golf course area. Please, was that Trump? What was going?
Someone behind said he loves to play with Tiger Woods so he can feel like a
civil rights.
I said no. The writers are this episode, big ups to the writer, because they had insane lines. I'm like, whoa, did I just hear that? But they actually did say that. I'm like, no way.
They said it. This episode is unhinged. Like, with Jonah, right, Kal Penn's character, who's very well portrayed, by the way. Excellent performance. I'm thinking about it and it's just like, bro, you're saying so many things that you should not be saying as a person of color in this corporate office. You should not be saying these things. You should not be doing these things. What are you up to? Like, what is happening? And you're like, I'm the CEO of this company. Bro, do we care?
We don't care because you're not a serious person. So no one is going to take he just casually said, good. Too many Asians. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay.
Like it's literally one thing after another with the guy. He's asking like, oh, is it am I anti-racist, anti-black or pro-black if it's for black on black? I'm like, stop now.
Like, even if you think that way, should you be saying it here? Because I think the assistants were in the room and like the partners were in the room as well. So it's like, why are you comfortable saying these things? He was actually not a serious person to be CEO. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that called to mind
actually.
So many things, because on some level it's like you have this guy who is overindulging in so many things, but clearly lives a life that is really empty, devoid of meaning. This job, this place is the one thing that brings him some meaning, and he feels insulated from consequences. And when somebody in leadership feels insulated from consequences, it is a recipe for disaster. Of course, Whitney, who is played incredibly well by Max Minghella. This dude owned the episode. Like,
yeah,
I've always liked him in like just about everything, but seeing him here, like, he was just incredible. Every scene he was
very
in,
fitting.
Yeah, like it was amazing. The fact that
the way he walks, where he took off the jacket, I'm like, yeah, do your thing, King. Whoa.
He literally tells this guy, you can't be saying things like this in the office. You can't be doing that. Use the candle I got you. This place kind of smells weird. You can tell like every step of the way, and I'm sure this becomes more apparent when you rewatch the episode. He's actually trying to prevent this guy from destroying himself. Like, he's trying to save him from himself. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. And I like how at the end of the episode, he says, remember, I tried to save you from this indignity. Remember, I tried to spare you this indignity. And I wonder, somebody may be cynical and go, did he? Like, did he actually do everything he could to spare him the indignity? Or was he trying to actually get him out the whole time? What do you think?
I feel like he was trying, because even at dinner, there was something he said that, like when we were younger, like you had said something about like, the business or whatever. The fact he was thinking about that, his old friend. And then at the end, when they kind of like voted him out or whatever, he said, yeah, I'm not even talking to you. I haven't been speaking to you for a while. Essentially pointing back to, I've lost my friend. And that hurts me because this was our dream. This was something we built from like the ground together. So I don't want to see you go. I've been trying to help you, but love is not enough to sustain a business, especially when it's this kind of person you're loving. Because I'm like, no, if it were me, since you will go. I was like, whoa, no, like I feel like the love was definitely there, but it's like you have to like end things sometimes. It hurts, but
having said that, though, I don't know if we can say Whit is a good person or a nice person. He clearly has some kind of weird agenda. He's kind of a scary guy. Let's be real here.
He is so scary. Yeah. No, he's actually, I'm like, I know what you are. You're evil. You're actually evil, but we'll see more. We'll see more.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of like, there's just a few people in this episode that are going scorched earth, right? He is one of them. Harper is in that book as well. Like, she's, when I think about her gating the fund, right? Kwabena, who's played by Tohib Jimo, Samu Bisanya from Ted Lasso. It's just, that was such a bad idea. I don't know how else to put it. It was not the best move. Like, it was a bit too heavy-handed.
The thing with Harper and like what she did, and just Harper as a character herself, is that she's very ambitious. Mind you, I just saw Matty Supreme, so everything on my mind right now is about like just
the
really
hustle.
ambitious young people that are reckless and selfish. So Harper is that person. She's super ambitious. She wants to do what she wants to do because she feels like, I have a purpose. What I'm going to do is going to work out. Believe in me, trust in me. Let me have my way. And I feel like Otto was actually micromanaging her. She couldn't do what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Her being a very audacious person, she's like, you know what? Low-key, I have the power. So I'm going to do this. And whatever happens, it happens, but I can't just be in this bubble where it's like there's someone watching over me. And then I was also I was feeling bad for Otto until he literally told her she was a black puppet, or what did she say? What did he say? I'm
I
like,
think
wait a minute.
he said he wanted a figurehead, and I think she said that he
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
have a puppet in blackface. But the thing is,
And
as insidious as that is, this was what she signed up for. Like when they had that conversation in season 3, he said that he wanted somebody who would have like her face, like a black woman that could stand in place of him and basically get away with the things that he might not be able to necessarily look good doing or get sympathy doing as a rich white
yeah.
guy.
But then for him to even consider Harper for that role, there was merit.
Yeah.
So him dismissing merit just for, oh, I needed a face was very,
That was very
like
Autumn Austin.
he wasn't a good guy before, but I'm just like, you know what, Harper, I'm glad you did what you did, because like this guy's actually not on your side. You're literally a puppet, which is crazy. But yeah, Harper has always been reckless and selfish. She's not going to change today or tomorrow. That's just who my girl is. I'm
Yeah.
more interested in the dynamic between Harper and Eric. Toxic couple coming back together. They've not changed though. No one did therapy. No one did, okay, let me work on myself. There's still two terrible people that are
So
terrible
why do you think
together
she calls
coming
him?
back together.
Why do you think she calls him then? Like what
The
is it
thing
that
about
makes her go back to him after everything that's happened in this specific scenario? Like why is he the one that she chooses to go to for comfort?
I feel this show is very like, it touches a lot on like just like toxicity and
And trauma
addictions
bonding.
and trauma bonding. Harper and Eric, they're like magnets that like they just want to be together, even though they know it's not good for themselves. Like they're going to explode. And I feel like Eric is going to do Harper. Eric is going to do Harper dirty because he needs to get his leg up. Now I think they're like, is it 3-2 or 2-1? I don't know, but they've been doing do me, I do you for a minute now, and I feel like this season Eric is going to get his leg up because I'm like, I don't see value in them coming back together. Like for what point? And you can tell like there's that like bond that they have where she goes, oh, you came, and then he goes, you called. And I'm like, you guys are actually silly gooses because of course you come and you came. I mean, what's the English I'll use? Yeah, you guys, you guys are twisted together. Like you don't even understand. Like they need to be separated. And the thing is that like Eric also sees Harper as a daughter. Like he cares for her.
Yeah.
So even when he gives her advice, it's literally coming from his heart. But Eric himself is also ambitious because I feel he has this thing about age where he's like, when you're young, he keeps saying when you're young. I'm like, what is this regret about like things you weren't able to do when you were younger? Like, you can do it now, but you don't need to point out back then. Because from season 3, season 2 is like, you young folks, you young people, you don't know what we had to do to get there. I'm just like, bro, it's really not our fault. But like, I don't know. But we'll see where this dynamic takes. Also, Harper and Yasmin, those two together, why are they still friends?
I guess they're frenemies.
They're not frenemies, oh. They're not friendly. I don't know what they are, but we need to pray for those two ladies because I'm like, because Harper clearly the plot. I mean, based off of like what we just saw, like the weeks ahead, Harper is going to do Yasmin dirty again and tell her it's just the business, it's the industry.
Yeah, we
Lady,
do
you're
see that in the
terrible.
preview, where it's like, why would you profit off of, the demise of something that I care about, right? And she says it's not personal, but that's the thing. Like Harper will literally burn anyone. Like this is something we've learned about her. She's dangerous. Like at one point, it was like we were like, oh, is she the villain of the show? Like, because literally nobody is safe around her. And I just think about like even the way she burned Eric before. Like she's burned, but Eric has burned her. She's burned him. Like she's managed to come back. Like season 3, she literally had been kicked when she was down, and then she rose up to a position of like actual control and economic security.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I don't need that. And I think about the fact that now, she's where she is, and, Sweet Pea is here with her, along with Kwabena. So I'm like, what happened to Petra and their hedge fund?
Ciao.
Like, is Petra just handling that by herself now? That's hilarious.
And my thing is that people see, Hapa, you're jumping from this person to this person. No, you're jumping on their head, actually, to get where you want to be. But Eric is not still coming. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's be honest. I want my name on the door, da 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 da. Hapa is going to do the same thing, or Eric will do the same thing because they haven't changed. So I don't know where Petra is, but she should just stay where she is, away from Hapa. Safe. Because, whoa.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
you can see that everyone who kind of tries to work with her gets a little bit miffed at some point. Take Mostyn, for example, who we're just talking about. He is like the king of the old boys club. Like, this man lives for, trading favors. And he started a short-only fund with somebody who has great instincts that he could use as a figurehead, but obviously would end up at some point coming after companies that are run by his boys, which is the reason he's nerfing her right now. Like Roland says, if you don't have impulse control, why are you managing other people's money? And that is a fair question. It's a very fair question.
What are you doing with people's money? Actually, you're not qualified for this role.
This is actually hilarious. But the thing is, Otto, he has other ambitions now, right? Like, he's literally trying to be in the House of Lords, which is just perfect, by the way. Like, I cannot stress enough how perfect it is that Otto Mostyn is seeking a peerage. Like, the House of Lords is... this is like a thing that most people will not even truly understand. Like, because... Even within England, like, it's literally just a thing that's there. Like, you have the House of Lords that's honestly just like, I don't know how to put it, like the King's Court, like, for lack of a better term. And it's funny that he's going there literally just because he can, because of what it can get him. And he's like, oh, the sons, cousins, friends, nephews, like, those are the people who are going to be like running this, like running the companies that Harper would be going for. And now that can be done. Like, this would be essentially like if she was shorting Lumi, right? What would he want with that, right? And, I think about, Henry Muck in terms of Lumi and, where he is now. And I first of all, the whole Harper, Eric thing made me think about the fact that, that Eric has Harper's name saved in his phone as harpsichord. So it was just very funny. I don't know if I was the only one who found it funny that we find Muck at the end of the episode at rock bottom playing a vintage harpsichord. And he's just sitting there like fiddling with the instruments.
Rock bottom for real.
I guess we'll get more insight as to what put him there. Maybe it was losing to Jennifer Bevan, who I think might be an interesting character in the season. I don't know. But yeah, Mostyn, I don't know how much sway he'll have this season, especially since Harper is planning to cut ties with him. But yeah, I just thought the whole House of Lords thing was hilarious. And the fact that his true colors came out, I mean, he's always been kind of like a sort of monstrous person. But it sort of makes sense that he is what he is. I feel like, the episode has lots of references to the current state of the world. I think it delivers them in a tasteful way that feels just as relevant as it does natural without being preachy. And I think the writing is, self-indulgent in a way, but it is impressive nonetheless, right? So I feel like the character work was very well done in the episode, and I'm thinking about how things will be looking forward. Clearly it was, I don't know, Eric's disapproval that triggered Harper when she started to get the fund. It was when she got that email that Eric's family fund was pulling their money. That's when she decided to go scorched earth. So clearly there is something there in her still needing Eric's approval in one way or another. And now we're taking that whole package and using it to have these two start a company, which I don't know what they're going to call it, Stern Tao Stern.
We'll find out.
yeah, it's something. But yeah, I feel like there's there's a lot going on, and maybe Muck isn't the only person who's going to be playing a harpsichord. But looking to the future, what do we think are the true implications of this Tender 2.0 now, right? Because season 3 also started with a company trying to reinvent itself.
Yeah.
It was Lumi, right? So if we look at it structurally, we know that there are already some differences. Tender is definitely not going to fizzle out the way Lumi did, right? Tender is now led by a serious person who happens to be friends with Henry Muck because he's friends with Yasmin too.
Isn't that the plan for Henry to come in to lead?
That
Tender?
Could be interesting because he said in the board meeting that he will be named interim CEO until they can find a suitable replacement. Do you think that's Henry Muck?
Straight up, and I feel like that's why Yasmin keeps on saying, "Oh yeah, like concerning Henry's future and like da 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 da." Because I feel like even the way Whitney is, I don't think he's one to be the face of, more so like the bad guy, the CFO, not necessarily the CEO.
Someone like him operates much better in the shadows.
Yeah, and like even with the way the trailer was, like one of the trailers they dropped, it was like him and Henry a lot. I'm like, who's this new guy? Like, what's your play? But now watching, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I think Henry is going to come in to be CEO. And thinking about what's to come, I feel like, well, somebody's going to die again.
Really?
Somebody's going to die. I keep trying to call him Jonathan because I'm like, I love to see Stranger Things actors get employed. So pardon me, but like, yeah, it might be Jim. Jim's gonna die. Because he's too reckless. Because I'm like, what do you mean you're a journalist, but then you went to...
that's actually
brother.
that was really immoral, by the way. Like, on many ways. Like, that immoral, unethical, like...
He should
creepy,
not have
icky.
a job, ever.
Like, you're chasing down a source, and you seduced her. You took, like, back to her. Like, what? What are we doing? Is everyone just unhinged?
Since when? No, literally. Because it was so twisted. And I'm like, wait, like, you're too reckless for this. Like, I know everyone is reckless on this show, but I'm like, little boy, because I don't know, like, who you are. You seem like just like a regular journalist. So, like, no one is covering you. Hapa can move mad. Like, she has a little bit of cover. She has money. Whitney, Yaz, and every other person. I'm like, who are you to be doing something as twisted as this? But then it's so funny. He was still able to get into her head for her to ask the question about, like, oh, like, what's up? Like, what's the story behind
he made sense.
your...
that tells me that you're talking about who may die. Maybe Jim is in danger, but I wonder if Haley is too, because for a fact, Whit's previous assistant did not have Crohn's disease. I do not believe that for a second. So I'm curious to learn what actually happened to her and if it's going to happen to Haley too.
I don't think Haley. Oh, Sweet Pea.
What about Sweet Pea?
Sweet Pea. Oh, let's even talk about the fact, honestly, when I saw Rishi, I thought he was just being, okay, you're messy, you're doing whatever you can do. And then we see him at the bridge. No, it wasn't a bridge. It was something. And then he's just there. And then we get the zoom. And then we see Hapa standing next to Rishi. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, Hapa, you are a terrible human being, because not only did you hire Sweet Pea, you're not working with the guy that tormented her. What are we doing?
Yeah,
why are you
it's
doing
interesting
that?
because she said from the beginning, and even from her initial conversation with Autumn Austin about this fund, that she wanted to that she was going to do what she plans to do through corporate espionage. And Rishi is her mole. Like, he goes in and he extracts information from people and he brings it to her, and I guess that's how he's supporting himself now. Hopefully he's dropped the gambling addiction. That would be...
This is some kind of gambling for him, so it might not be drugs or alcohol, but it's something that moves him.
He still has... It's funny thing, like, he lost his wife, so on some level I think it's easy for us to believe as the audience that, a certain aspect of his character has kind of been left behind, like he's lost everything and he's just scrounging by. But I'd like to remind us that not only is he scrounging by, he does have a child. So
he has a full child. Like,
yeah, he
I
has to
actually
provide
forgot
for
he
that
had a
child.
child.
That's the thing. Like, it's easy to forget that he has a child, but he has a child. So he can't just leave things behind completely. He does have to provide for that child. And it makes me wonder, right, which characters are most likely to be affected by this new tender plot. Like Harper, I guess Eric by association through Harper, Jim Diker, he's probably in danger, Haley, and Henry, right? Because Henry definitely has a part to play. Like, you don't just hire Kit Harington and put him on the side.
So real.
So I mean, I think about all these different people and like what's going to happen, because Tender clearly has something in the background that is not so, scrupulous. So I feel like if I'm thinking about how Whitney compares to Henry as a leader, right? This guy is a lot more in control. And if he's bringing in Henry to be CEO, as you're asserting, then maybe it is like a figurehead type of situation. He needs somebody who is like a friendly face to kind of be in the front, be charismatic, while he handles the real business behind. Basically, someone similar to Jonah, but willing to actually let the company move forward. So yeah, I mean, it's good that the show is kind of laying out all these things and giving us these options to look forward to as we try to predict what's going to happen in episode 2 and the rest of the season. And yeah, we have to be grateful, right, that we're watching a show that's consistent with this release schedule, because apparently that is a luxury in this day and age. These guys
Can you
release,
imagine?
It is a luxury. These guys release a season every 2 years. They have ever since they started in 2020. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for that.
I'm excited for industry, but I was surprised they got the. You know what? It's fine. I was gonna say, how come they got the Sunday night slots and not the pits? Because I mean, one won the Emmy, one wasn't nominated, but then industry not being nominated was like, wow, that's crazy. But then I'm like,
I think the pit is a different kind of show,
them.
though. I think the pit is a different kind of show in a way, and it's also the fact that they do 15 episodes and not 10. So usually, what they give the Sunday night slot to is something that's doing 8 to 10 episodes, I believe. So and HBO and industry wasn't always even on Sunday nights, right? That only started last season. I think in season 2 they were Monday nights. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes for them.
The chaos is maturing, so it's going to be a very stormy 7 more Sundays.
Yeah, because we just have to learn what people have been doing. Like, there's a bit of a time skip. I mean, just as a whole, we know that a lot of time has passed since the beginning of the show, because we see Harper get a 30th birthday card from her mom, which means that like at least 7 or 8 years have passed since season 1.
Yeah.
Because they were in their early 20s then. Like, she was like 22, 23. So now, like, looking ahead, it's like, what can we kind of expect based on whatever has happened in these past 2 years, I guess, since a year. I think it's been at least 18 months since the end of season 3. So what's Henry Muck been up to, right? I know in one of the trailers / teasers, we saw him like in some club dancing with a guy. We know he lost an election. So, or at least he lost something to Jennifer Bevan. I'm wondering what relationship of Harper's is going to be the focus. Like, is it going to be Harper and Whitney's relationship or Harper and Eric's relationship? Maybe both. Do those two relationships affect each other? Probably. Harper and Yasmin's relationship as well. How much does the show have remaining to say about what a relationship between a Harper and a Yasmin can look like? We've seen all the different phases. There's the, kind of where we're enjoying friendship kind of stage. There's the I'm going to steal this guy that you like kind of stage. There's the I'm going to steal opportunities from you stage. There's the let's go on vacation together. There's, help me hide my secrets. There's let's argue and slap each other. Like, there's so many different
friendship. Trauma, and they're still friends. Because let's be real, either I kill you or we'll kill like ourselves. Because why are we still friends? Like, no, why are we actually still friends? Why am I seeing your face and not slapping you every single time I
It's
meet you?
crazy. I don't
It's
actually
crazy.
know. I don't actually know what what those two want from each other anymore. It's so funny because like Yasmin is a whole viscountess at this point,
Yeah.
right? She's living an aristocratic life in a way that she's even free from her father, who barely left her anything because of things that were going on. She's not really connected to
Yeah.
Hanani Publishing like that. I'm wondering if we're going to find out that she and Henry have had a child. You know, so
Wait, what?
I say I'm wondering if we'll find out that Yasmin and Henry have had a child. Sorry, Yasmin
I
and
hope
Henry.
not to. God forbid the child is inside that marriage. No.
Why do you don't want their marriage to be blessed?
She's married to a child. The marriage was not blessed from the beginning. Because you,
Oh my God.
no. I'll pray. Because no way. But I'm excited to see that dynamic because I feel like Yaz has also never been in a relationship where she had power, or rather, she was able to utilize any power in the relationship. With Hapa, she tries. Honestly,
Yeah.
because I believe Hapa lets her. But with Henry, she's fully able to dominate
Yes.
in that relationship. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited to see her more. Like, just be like, okay, you have to do this. You're going to do this. I'm planning your life. You're going to go to this place. You're going to wear this, because we've never really seen her like with her shoulders high. So let's see.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be some kind of like double date, Harper and Yasmin with Whitney and Henry. That could be interesting. That'd be quite a scene. We can learn a lot about those characters in that single moment.
Yeah.
I know that in the preview for episode 2, or I guess for the weeks ahead trailer, Eric says something like, I won't hurt you just by knowing you, or I would hurt you just by knowing you, something like that. And it reminds me of Harper herself, because literally for most of the characters in the show, just knowing Harper, having contact with her is dangerous.
Yeah.
And
My
Yasmin
goodness.
says, I just want to be necessary, which tells you that she's still seeking validation in a way. Like now she's gotten everything. She has all these comforts, and it's still not enough to keep her, feeling secure in her own life. And I wonder what that's going to do for the story, right? She doesn't have a quote unquote like punching bag boy toy person like Robert anymore to just like go and like torment whenever she's bored, so I wonder what that's going to do to her, because now she clearly has more power, she has more relationships, but does she feel powerful?
That's the question. And I feel like we could also like throw the same question to every single character. We could ask Whitney, because like the company was great. I get they wanted to be clean, but it's like, even if you now get clean and the company flourishes even more, would that be enough? For Hapa, the same thing. Are you okay where you're at? For Eric, are you okay? Like for all of them, it's just like this. That's what I'm saying. This is addiction. It's a drive towards something that they can never fully be like satisfied. Like, and nothing will satisfy them. It's just like, I want more. I want more at whatever cost. So we'll see. And the music as well.
The music.
When the drums started playing, when he turned and he said, I'm like, okay. This is quality TV.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see something level up in exactly the way it should and more. It's beautiful. It's just nice. This is what God intended, and I love when that.
He said this is what God intended.
this is what God intended. This is the success that we need to see, and hopefully they get nominated for something in this season right there in the Emmy window. I feel like, whenever you hear that, I guess I'll call it the old school industry theme, like that music, whenever it comes on, that something is, that's a pivotal moment in the episode or in the season. Like in this episode, it came on when they were in the elevator, Jonah and Whit, when they were about to get to the board meeting. And at that point, it's just like, okay, this is clearly some kind of swell. And, I think the show understands what it is now. It understands what it's trying to deliver, and we are now officially in a place where anything could happen, and that's nice. This is a good place to be as a series, where you have a story that anything could credibly just happen next, and the audience would come along. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, the production value is amazing. It's not just the music, the cinematography as well.
Everything.
I mean, like, I love that the camera work, for example, and the grading are generally doing their best at all times to reflect the mood and the tension, and they actually succeed. Like, a lot of scenes, this show is a masterclass in handheld cinematography. Like, you can tell when things are feeling frantic. It's generally quite nice, you know. And
it's not. It's. I'm thinking it's like a hybrid between Succession and like industry OG, like season 1. Because I'm like, season 1 industry was not like what I'm seeing right now. So like, big ups to them.
Yeah, I mean, the relationships in the show too, right? It's not just these young people in this bank trying to make their way towards Riff, right? You know, there are big relationships here, like the money-making deals. Speaking of which, James Ashford really needs to make better business alliances. Like, I don't know how Harvard could not tell that this man was actually having a stroke. He was having a full-on stroke.
She said it. She said, if you're gonna have a stroke, like do it outside my office. And then I said, like, what's the word? Sesquipedalian. I might have it, God forbid. But I'm like, whoa, this guy's actually having a stroke. He's having a stroke. Poor guy. Please, they should not bring him back again. He should just stay where he is. He's been through a lot.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Not to be sesquipedalian or anything, but it would be very long-winded to have that guy come back. I do like that they followed up on this idea that he really was interested in her in season 3. And that guy is always like, he's just always stressed. Like, in season 3, we see him, he's stressed because of Lumi. Now he's stressed.
So bad.
The guy he needs to retire, but and he's always on a run. Like, he looked like he was just coming from a run. So he's just always like running, trying to exercise because of his stress. It tracks.
Addictions, again, runners high. It might be good, but it's really not if you're addicted to running. But anyways, addictions. They should just call the show Industry, Addictions.
Yeah, I guess the tagline "Addictions" would work for. It would definitely work for season 1. It might work for season 4 too. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it for now. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to for the rest of the season, and this is gonna be fun. If you're new here, if you're new to us covering industry, welcome. Thank you for watching up until this point. We have a lot planned for you, and this is definitely the right show to be watching. I think it does a very good job of being timely, of being captivating, and of actually making commentary about relationships without being, too focused on its own motifs. It's kind of self-indulgent in a fun way. At least that's what it's become. And I think that it's earned that. And, if you've watched us before, well, I guess when not talking to you, I haven't seen you for a while, as Whit would say. But welcome back in any case. It's going to be a fun season. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, AJ, for being here especially. And you know what? Look forward to the roster of guests that's coming, because I think that's going to be fun too. So until next time, go kill a bank.
Oh. Bye.